Graduands, distinguished guests, families and friends, welcome to the Charles Darwin University graduation ceremony. My name is Professor Fiona Colson and I'm the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic. I'd like to start by acknowledging that we are meeting here on Larrakia country, which always was and always will be Aboriginal land. I pay my respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to other First Nations people present today. Now, my job at the beginning is to explain to you a little bit about how today's ceremony will run. You've got a few more minutes to send any of those last-minute urgent texts, but then we would ask that you either turn your phone to silent or turn it off for the duration of the ceremony. And family and friends, we are delighted that you can be with us today. We want you to celebrate the success of these wonderful graduands and clap and cheer for all your work. There are no noise limits today, really. If we need to evacuate the venue, exits are located at the front and the rear of the hall. If you hear the evacuation alert, please follow venue staff instructions. And while we're going to have lots of fun at today's graduation ceremony, there is also lots of formality and ceremony. We start with the academic procession as they enter the hall, and they are accompanied by a very specially commissioned tune called Seasons Fanfare. And this maps and pays homage to Charles Darwin and maps a journey through the territory, seasons and history. So we hope you enjoy listening to it. Next, you'll also see our university mace. Now, the mace will be placed here at the front, and the mace bearer will immediately precede the Chancellor in the academic procession. The mace sits on stage throughout the ceremony, and it's really, these days, part of sort of a ceremonial purpose. But once upon a time, it was about protecting the Chancellor from anyone who might do him harm. These days, it is actually very much a beautiful piece of art, and you'll see that at the centre of the mace lies the flame of knowledge. This links to the traditional use of fire sticks as a way of passing on knowledge, and it also includes Charles Darwin's telescope, and it's wrapped around by pandana sleeves, which you see featured quite a lot up here in the top end. So it's a beautiful mix of different histories on the location at which we're at. Charles Darwin University is committed to the achievement of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples and their communities across the Northern Territory and across Australia. In recognition of this commitment, you will see our First Nation graduands at this ceremony wearing a unique stole and pin. The stoles are based on the design and colours of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags. It is a practice that we have followed since 2009, with its inception by the then Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Indigenous Leadership. Our photographers, you can see them down the front, will be busy taking pictures throughout the ceremony. You'll also be able to have individual photographs taken after the ceremony. Please feel free to take photographs or videos from wherever you're seated. We really do want you to remember this day for a long time to come. So now to the ceremony itself. Today's ceremony will be presided over by the Acting Chancellor, Emeritus Professor Charles Webb. He will confer awards on graduating students during the ceremony. When the academic procession takes their place on stage, please remain standing for the national anthem. In the early part of the ceremony, Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Scott Bowman AO, will ask the graduands to stand and then ask the Chancellor to confer all of today's awards, at which point you, the audience, can clap and cheer. Each graduand will then be called individually across the stage and be presented. Today we have graduands from the CDU TAFE and the Faculty of Arts and Society, and these will be presented by Professor Ruth Wallace. Now, graduands, these are your instructions. You are an integral part of today's ceremony and you have a starring role to play on stage. You will be prompted to line up behind the scenes by one of our ushers, where you'll also receive your testament before being presented to the Chancellor. When it's your turn, walk to the edge of the red carpet as directed and wait for your name to be called. When you hear your name, walk towards the Chancellor. Traditionally, we would acknowledge the Chancellor by nodding, so a little bit like this with touching your mortarboard like that and just sort of a bit of a nod. Be careful not to pull too hard. We have lost a couple of mortarboards during the ceremony. Relax. If you're not quite sure what to do, can't remember, follow the person in front of you. Now, when you reach the middle here, pause, Yep, pause, that's something sometimes we forget. Stand next to the Chancellor and turn towards the photographer in the front row for your picture. Now today, our acting Chancellor, unfortunately, has a broken wrist, so he will not be shaking your hand. So again, just stand beside him for the photograph and then you'll be ushered to your seat following that. Graduates and guests, we do ask that you remain seated until the ceremony has finished. We do want every graduate to have a full house, whether called first or last. And right at the end of the ceremony, you'll hear one of your fellow graduates address the hall. So please, no leaving early. At the end of the ceremony, the academic procession will form a guard of honour, and graduates, you'll be prompted by our ushers to exit through the guard of honour. After the ceremony, there will be light refreshments in the student square behind us. And it now gives me my very great pleasure to hand over to our Alumni Manager, Mr. David McBain, who will talk to you about staying connected to CDU.
Thank you, Deputy Vice-Chancellor. Good afternoon, graduates, and congratulations on your graduation from Charles Darwin University. Graduating from university is one of life's great milestones. It is something to be celebrated, and I congratulate each and every one of you on your achievements. Once you walk out of these doors, you become alumni of Charles Darwin University, something that we are so proud of, and something that you can proudly say for the rest of your lives. You're leaving here with a qualification which will contribute greatly to your success in the future. But your connection with us doesn't end when you complete your study. As a graduate, we're here to support you through your career journey. Your knowledge, expertise and success can also be shared to help develop others who in a few years' time will be sitting exactly where you are today. As alumni of CDU, you also have access to a range of special benefits. You can obtain free advice on all matters relating to your ongoing professional development through our Virtual Careers Centre. You have access to the libraries across our NT campuses and our online library resources. In fact, all of our campuses you can access the libraries in. And you have free access to LinkedIn Learning, where you can access over 15,000 courses delivered in 7 languages to help you continue developing a wide range of new skills anywhere and at any time. We'll keep you up to date with what's happening at CDU through our alumni news and social media pages. You'll be invited to regular alumni networking events, irrespective of where you live, including the CDU Alumni Awards, which you are now eligible for nomination. The Alumni Awards have been designed to showcase our brightest stars, people who have graduated from CDU and are using their knowledge and skills to do amazing things around the world. We celebrate them at a gala dinner, which is held at the Darwin Convention Centre, this year to be held on the 7th of November. Tickets will be on sale soon. Please Google CDU Alumni Awards for more information and join us on the evening to celebrate our incredible alumni. Some of you might have noticed that I'm standing up here with a little crocodile that's dressed like us. This is Charlie, and he's the latest member of CDU's alumni community. I have one for each of you to collect from the alumni desk at the Careers Centre, just outside those doors at the end of the ceremony. He's our gift to you. A small memento that will remind you of your time at CDU and that time that you stood here on this red carpet and had your photo taken as a graduate and a proud CDU alum. I encourage you to stay connected with us. It brings so many rewards and opportunities, and we would love to continue to hear about your future achievements and where your education with us has taken you. I know that this is a very exciting day and some of you are quite nervous, so I don't expect any of you to remember what I've just told you. But in the coming days or weeks, when you have a spare moment, jump online and Google CDU Alumni, update your details so that we can stay in touch with you, and check out the other offers that are available to you as alumni of Charles Darwin University. Congratulations again on your graduation. I'm so excited for you, and I look forward to meeting each and every one of you when you come across to the Careers Centre at the end of the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And just a reminder to everyone, if you could please switch your mobile phones to silent before the ceremony commences. We'll be just waiting a short while and we're due to commence directly.
Welcome to Charles Darwin University graduation. Congratulations on your achievement. Now you stand ready to create a new world of possibilities. This is your CDU graduation. Graduands, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession is about to commence. Please stand and remain standing until the national anthem has been sung.
Please be seated. The Honourable Joe Hersey, Minister for Education, Training, Early Education and Public Service. Ms Susan Bowden, Chief Executive, Department of Education. Distinguished guests, graduands, family and friends, welcome. To commence proceedings, I would like to invite Dr. Billawara Lee, OAM, to deliver the Welcome to Country.
If I ran over this, everyone would have a fit with the... Darang Dara, Goodlingaba Bajawa, Nana, Gurumemba, Piddlewarli, Damadiji to Gurumerjan, Yajana Bachawana. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Brittlewara B, but I'm happy to call me Auntie B. I'm a senior elder of the Larrakia Nation and the Larrakia Academic Resident for Charles Darwin University. I'm a member of the large local Kabila family, one of the 8 family groups that make up the Larrakia Nation. I always feel my heart lift when I'm asked to do the Welcome to Country ceremony, and I take this role of doing this ancient ritual very seriously. I don't know if you realise it, but when you ask custodians to do this welcome, you are showing respect to the First Nations peoples and the land and their ancestor. I acknowledge your respect. Thank you. Sorry, I had a stroke, so a bit difficult. We are the traditional custodians of the lands and waters of the Greater Darwin region. And although a land extends up for 50 kilometres inland, we are saltwater people. And I'm really sorry, at the beginning, I didn't acknowledge the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor. The Australian First Nations people, the oldest continuing survivors on Earth. Our cultures are older than all the other knowledge, ancient civilization on the planet. One day I hope Australia, not the world, celebrates our enduring deep ancient history, and they understand and learn from our knowledge and wisdoms. Remember, our history is your history. I'm so glad to be here with you all today. Pay my respects to other elders who are here present, and acknowledge dignitaries, special guests, especially fellow Larrakia people here. Hooray, congratulations, families, friends, colleagues, and graduates. I want to give you my heartfelt congratulations to you, the graduates. You have passed all the hurdles to be here today, your graduation ceremony. I'm so proud of you. And Charles Darwin University has given the knowledge and tools to be a master craftsperson. So continue to make us proud and never forget that if you ever need us, we will be here for you, as you will always be a member of the CDU family. So it's on the note, it's my privilege on behalf of my fellow elders past present to welcome you all to Guelwa Daraniki land, our land. Welcome to my saltwater home with great food, friendly people, beautiful beaches, spectacular sunsets, and the most amazing like storms. Larrakia country is like a pearl with many layers of different peoples from different cultures living and loving in this deep spirit place, just like Charles Darwin University. You are walking on Larrakia land. I hope your stay in my country is a safe and rewarding one, and the spirits of my ancestors watch over you while you're here. All I ask in return is to walk softly on Mother Earth and treat her with love and respect as the Larrakia people do. Thank you. Mama Bachua. See you later.
Auntie B, it's great to have you back in person at graduations, and once again, please join me in thanking Dr. Lee for welcoming us to Larrakia land. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Scott Bowman AO, to deliver the welcome address. There was one thing I forgot to remind you of at the beginning of the ceremony is the Vice-Chancellor likes to be really welcomed to the stage. He likes a lot of noise. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pretend that that never happened. We're just going to start again, but this time, just really big cheer. Be great for my career. Thank you. All right. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Scott Bowman AO, to deliver the welcome address.
Honestly, there was no need for that. What a warm, unexpected welcome. It was worth on, a build-up day to stick a hat on, a dress, and my graduation boots. Look, it's fantastic to be here. First of all, Auntie Billawara, how fantastic it is to have you back at graduation. We have missed you. Even though we've had your voice booming out with your message, it is wonderful to have you back. And when Auntie B says, oh, I had a stroke, she had a granddaddy of all strokes. She had a big heart operation and then had this terrible stroke. We were all very worried about you, but here you are again. I have to tell you, we have made a bit of a mistake in the university, though, because we did buy Auntie B an electric scooter to get around the campus. The first thing she did with that scooter was took it to our electrotech, our electricians training, got them to take the speed inhibitor off, and now she's a menace all over the campus. Auntie B, I pay my respects to you and your people. The other reason why I was particularly looking forward to this graduation was that I knew Minister Hersey. Joe Hersey was going to be here today. And it's so fantastic, Joe, that you are the first minister from your new government to come to a graduation. We had one of the members of your government here, but not a minister. Not a minister, and not the Minister for Education Training. Congratulations on becoming a minister. Joe has been a great supporter of the university over many years. Sometimes been a pain in my backside as well, because occasionally I've done things and I've thought, I know Joe's not going to like this and that phone is going to go off any minute, and you can guarantee it does. But Joe, welcome to the graduation. Look, it is great to be at graduation, and you are going to see in a minute why this university is so special, why it is so all-inclusive. You're going to see people walking across the stage who are getting vocational qualifications, who have done training here at the university and have got their certs, 1s, 2s, 3s, diplomas. absolutely fantastic. You're going to see people getting their bachelors. You're going to be seeing lots of teachers graduating today. You're going to see master's degrees. You're going to see PhDs. You're going to see someone awarded for a lifetime achievement with an honorary degree. You're going to hear lots of names and you're going to think, oh, I wonder where that name comes from. That sounds Nepalese or Indian or Sri Lankan or Bangladeshi or maybe Chinese. And you'd be right. We have students here graduating from right across the world, and we have their families here, people that have travelled from around the world to see their family member graduate. And it is wonderful that we do welcome so many international students here. But you're also going to see lots of people from the territory graduating. You're going to see people from remote communities graduating. You're going to see people from interstate graduating. And I have to say, we need these people. We need these people in the territory. We need those international students. And if you're an international student and you're planning to take your skills back home to your home country, good luck to you. And we wish your countries and you the very best. But for those that are staying on in the territory is the land of opportunity. This is where you can take your qualification and really do wonderful things with it. We need you here in the territory, and we are so pleased that you chose this university to come to. We do face problems as a university at the moment, and I think we face problems as a territory when it comes to international students. The federal government has put a cap on how many international students we can take into the university. A cap on how many degree students and how many vocational students. Now, they may need to put those caps on for other parts in the country, but not in the territory. This university is always ranked number 1 or 2 for their graduates getting jobs. Our graduates get jobs because there are so many jobs here in the territory. We need either to have that cap removed or to make that cap much bigger. And if I can tell you, just how absurd those caps are, if you have a look at the territory, we are booming. We've got so many projects going on at the moment. If I just take the trades and vocational training, we need trades and vocational people. We need as many Australians as we can train, but we also need people to come here and train. For the whole of Australia, the government allocated 94,000 international places for the public providers. For the Northern Territory, they awarded 90 places. 90 out of 94,000. This is just madness, and this is something that we will work to do something about. And I do, again, want to welcome all of our international students. You are incredibly welcome. Now, so I've said, did I say anything nice about the students? Oh yeah, you're really good. Yeah, you've done really well. Okay, done that, had a little political rant, sucked up to the politician. Oh, you lot over there, I've got to say something to you. Okay, now, you have got a job here this afternoon, and your job is to make a lot of noise. Now, you didn't do too well when I got up, I have to say. When your friends and your family walk across this stage, I want you to really shout out, make a lot of noise, embarrass them. If you had some little pet name when they were a toddler, shout that out. If it's your mum, shout something out about your mum. Really, let's have some fun and because this is a celebration. You may not have been to a graduation. You may be thinking, oh, is it like a wedding or is it like a funeral? It's like a wedding without the creepy uncle. It's good. It's good. So let's make some noise during the graduation. Have a lot of fun. I do have to say one rule, and it is a very strict rule, because I do see some children and babies. If the babies or the children start making a lot of noise, I have to ask you, please don't get embarrassed and go outside. Stay in here. We don't mind a bit of noise from kids. In fact, we love it because we know we've got some more customers coming through. So honestly, don't worry if the kids make a bit of noise. In fact, when Professor Wallace gets up to read the names, perhaps pinch them, make them make a lot of noise. Okay, have a great afternoon, and congratulations to you lot.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. And now for the presentation of the Honorary Awards as awarded by the CDU Council. Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting Lorraine Leslie Victorina Williams, who has been awarded the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters. Lorraine is a proud Larrakia woman and an emerging elder in the Larrakia Nation, the traditional owners of the land in the Darwin region. From a young age, Lorraine has had a passion for the environment, Larrakia language, plants, fighting for land and native title rights, helping her people and her culture. It was this passion that began her lifelong journey to understand the relationship between plants, culture and people, ethnobotany across the top end of the Northern Territory. Throughout her academic career journey, Lorraine has gained exceptional Indigenous ecological knowledge and Western land management and enterprise development practices. Her ability to work between both Indigenous and non-Indigenous systems and practices, integrate Indigenous ecological knowledge, guide projects through necessary cultural procedures, has been invaluable to the many projects she has worked on across the Northern Territory. In 1997, Lorraine began her journey with Charles Darwin University's predecessor, the University of Northern Territory, where she began sharing her knowledge as a tutor for First Nations students and a lecturer to mainstream students in lands, parks, wildlife management and tour guiding courses. In 2001, she became a research associate at Charles Darwin University, undertaking archaeological research with Larrakia people in developing and sustaining Indigenous tourism activities at Larrakia cultural heritage sites across Darwin. Lorraine has worked with Greening Australia, Aboriginal Bush Traders, CSIRO, Larrakia Nation Aboriginal Corporation, Larrakia Development Corporation, Northern Land Council, and with Indigenous ranger groups across the top end. Lorraine has been instrumental in supporting Indigenous women rangers and has worked with many cultural elders across the Northern Territory. Lorraine's work has protected Indigenous knowledges and has raised the profile of Larrakia attachment to country and the impacts of environmental change. Her current work with the Aboriginal Research Practitioners Network and the Australian Centre for International Research in Timor-Leste and Arnhem Land is promoting wild foods. Her research has been published in over 10 publications and she has presented at numerous conferences across Australia and internationally. Chancellor, in recognition of her commitment to land management, ethnobotany, cultural and community conservation through research and innovation, Charles Darwin University Council awards Lorraine Leslie Victorina Williams the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
It is now time for today's occasional address. Rayalka Grimmer is a senior lecturer in creative writing and applied linguistics and the CDU discipline head for education enabling and linguistics. Rayalka was the 2023 fellow in the Australia Council's Digital Fellowship Program. She's the author of the young adult novel White Noise and one of the founding editors of Borderlands, a literary journal of the Northern Territory. Rayalka's research interests include creative non-fiction, genre analysis, text analysis, multilingual Australian literatures, and mono-multilingualism in Australia. Her creative writing has been published in Australian literary journals, Westerly, Griffith Review, Kill Your Darlings, and Meniscus. She is president of the Australasian University's Language and Literature Association and co-chair of the editorial collective of the association's journal, Journal of Language, Literature and Culture. Please give Rialka a warm welcome.
Hi, it's wonderful to be here this afternoon to speak to all of you who are graduating today, and thank you to Professor Wallace for the invitation to talk to you all. I'd just firstly like to say congratulations to everyone graduating today. You should be so incredibly proud of your achievement, and it's something that no one can ever take away from you. Once you graduate, it's yours. I can still remember my own graduation from my undergraduate degree, which was 12 years ago. I'd studied a Bachelor of Creative Arts in Creative Writing down in Adelaide, but before I even officially graduated from that degree, I'd already enrolled in and had started my Master in Applied Linguistics, because creative writing doesn't pay the bills, as I got told over and over again throughout my 3-year degree. My brother is only 1 year older than me, so we were both studying at university at the same time, and I have very vivid memories of being at extended family gatherings, and in turn, they'd ask both of us what we were studying. My response of creative writing got a simple, ah. My brother's response of mining engineering was always rewarded with a wow. The responses improved slightly when I could reply applied linguistics instead of creative writing. I also got a wow, but it was quickly followed by, what's that? While I clocked people's differing responses to mine and my brother's study choices, it didn't really bother me. If anything, it ignited me. I'd known since I was a kid that I wanted to be a writer, but I also knew that can take time, and I also wanted to pay the bills, so I decided to keep studying. I enrolled in linguistics because I was fascinated by language and languages. But like the family members who interrogated me on what linguistics even was, I must admit even I didn't really know until I actually started. Thankfully, I fell in love with that too, as much as I love creative writing. After my master's, I took some time off studying and travelled for a few months before returning to start looking for work. I was unable to find work in my field, so I took a job in retail to get by while I continued to look for other work. Throughout all this time, I continued to write. I wrote a lot, submitted a lot, got rejected a lot, an awful lot. And every once in a while, I also received an acceptance letter for my writing to be published in a literary journal, often with a nominal payment attached. Not enough to pay the bills, but enough to keep writing. In the year I worked in retail and wrote, I decided I wanted to do a PhD. I didn't know what a PhD was before I started university. The first PhD student I ever met was a student giving university tours during orientation week in my first week on campus. I asked her what it was, and it turned out her PhD was in creative writing, and she told me that she would be studying that for the next 7 years. I made the decision to do my own PhD while standing washing dishes at my kitchen sink. In that 15-minute window of washing dishes, I dreamed up the project I wanted to do. It was essentially a creative writing project, but included linguistic analysis, merging the two fields I love so much. Part of my rationale was that the PhD scholarship, I'd earn more money writing a book on a PhD scholarship than I'd be able to earn writing a book in my free time. Plus, I'd have the added addition of getting feedback from my supervisor on my process. So I really saw it as a way to continue improving my writing. I applied to 2 universities, and the letters arrived in the mail on the same day. One university had rejected me. The other, I'd been accepted into the program, but I had been unsuccessful in securing a scholarship. But by then, I'd already made up my mind that I would do my PhD, so I accepted this offer anyway. And a week before I started, I quit my retail job with no PhD scholarship and no other job lined up. I was devastated I hadn't received a scholarship to do my PhD. When I spoke to other students, there seemed to be a divide between the PhD students who were on scholarship and those who weren't. I was informed I was bottom of the list for office allocation because the scholarship students got allocated first. I also didn't have the luxury of basking in my PhD research full-time, even though I still enrolled as a full-time student. I needed to find another job. I found casual work teaching English for academic purposes at an English language school, and then I was also lucky enough to get casual work as a tutor in the language and learning support team at my university. It wasn't creative writing, but I discovered how much I enjoyed teaching and tutoring students in academic writing as well. I applied for a scholarship again at the end of my second year. I'd worked hard, had some research published, and a much stronger scholarship application the second time around. I still remember crying on the lounge room floor when I received a letter saying I'd missed out on a scholarship again. That year, I'd worked 3 casual jobs, often leaving the house at 7:15 in the morning to catch the train into the city for my shifts at the English language school, before catching a train straight back out again afterwards to make it back to the university for my casual shifts there, sometimes not finishing until 7 p.m. that night. I'd then stay up late working on my thesis. I wasn't sure I could endure another year of that, but I couldn't bring myself to quit my PhD. I loved my project, so instead, a few weeks later, I half-heartedly filled out the paperwork to change my enrolment from full-time to part-time. Even as I did it, I calculated in my mind how long it would take me to completion. Another 7 years. I wasn't sure I was going to make that. I felt like such a failure when I took the form to my supervisor to sign, and then to the faculty's sign-off. I emailed the form through to the admission team for processing when I got home that evening, and that was on a Thursday. That Friday, I didn't have work, so I stayed home working on my thesis. And then at 4 p.m, an email popped into my inbox. It was a scholarship offer. A late scholarship offer. Someone else had rejected their offer, and I'd been next on the wait list. Did I wish to accept the offer? I emailed my supervisor in shock. I basically just said, I got a scholarship offer, and that was about it. He replied immediately with a question, "This is good news, right?" I reassured him it was, accepted the offer, and sent an email asking them not to process my change in enrolment to part-time. I'd continue as a full-time student. But in the end, I kept my scholarship for only a year and a half because I ended up moving to Darwin. And thanks to my work experience gained mostly during my time as a scholarshipless PhD student, I secured casual lecturing work and then a permanent role here at Charles Darwin University. In hindsight, not getting a PhD scholarship in my first year was probably the best thing that could have happened. It meant I had to work and I gained valuable experience I wouldn't have got otherwise. The job here at CDU was one I almost didn't apply for because of my PhD. I didn't want to jeopardise completing it. But when I mentioned the role to my PhD supervisor, his advice was sound. He told me, opportunities like this don't come very often, so when they do, you need to apply for them. We'll worry about the PhD if you get the job. So I applied, and I won the role, which meant giving up the scholarship I'd fought so hard to get, switching my enrolment to external part-time, and figuring out how to complete a PhD around a demanding full-time job. It was back to fitting in thesis writing in the early mornings and weekends. I completed my PhD during COVID, 5.5 years after I started, and once I was done, I didn't really know what to do with myself, and all this extra time I suddenly had. So I bought a Nintendo Switch and the game Super Mario Odyssey, and I spent my new free hours playing video games. Throughout my PhD, I'd continued to write short pieces for literary journals, but in the months after completing, I found myself unable to write. I needed a break, so I didn't write. But I started reading for fun again, the way I had before my PhD, reading books that had nothing to do with my research. And as I started to read again, I found myself itching to write again. Not creative nonfiction, the genre I'd written my PhD in, and the essays I'd had published. I was pulled back to fiction, the kind of writing I did in my late teens and early 20s. One evening, I sat down at my laptop and started to write, When I next looked at the clock, it was 3 a.m, and I had the beginnings of a young adult novel. The novel I started in my post-PhD haze is called White Noise, and it was published just a few weeks ago by UWA Publishing. 3 years after I first started writing it, 12 years after I graduated from my Bachelor of Creative Arts. Depending on how you look at it, to some, my writing still doesn't pay the bills. But nothing is ever wasted. My first degree set me up for everything that has eventuated since. If I hadn't met that PhD student during my first week on campus, it may not have sown the seed that led to my own PhD. If I'd chosen to study speech pathology, which was my second option after creative writing in the beginning, instead of creative writing, I would have fallen onto a very different path. I'm now in a role where I get to lecture in creative writing and linguistics, and the creative and critical thinking honed in my undergraduate degree set me up with skills I use every day in my job. 12 years ago, I wouldn't have dared to dream my degree would lead me here. Apart from the publishing a book part, I never let myself stop dreaming of that. But this moment is your moment. So take a moment to breathe in what you've achieved and a minute to reflect on where and who you were when you started your degree and where and who you are now. Dare to dream where you want to go, and remember that your testimony and all of the hard work you've put in to get to this point may lead you to places you never dreamed you'd end up. Congratulations. Thank you.
Rayalko, I was following your story quite closely. Thank you so much for sharing those inspirational words. I might be picking up your novel as well. And please accept these flowers as a token of our appreciation. Today's musical presentation will be At Last by Etta James, performed by Marcia Dawson. Marcia is a singer and pianist performing at many venues, including weddings, gala balls, and even national football games. Originally from Darwin, but based in Canberra, Marcia is also graduating in this ceremony, having completed the Bachelor in Primary Education. Please give Marcia a warm welcome.
Come along, my lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh, at last. And the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clovers. It was the night I looked at you. I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Whoa. Smile, oh, and then a spell was cast. Hey. in heaven. 'Cause you are mine at last. Thank you and congratulations, everybody.
That was wonderful, Marcia. I'm really glad you've added graduations to your venues. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor to commence the conferring of awards.
Would all graduands please stand? And smile. Chancellor, as Vice-Chancellor of Charles Darwin University, I submit to you candidates for the awards as set out in the official list of graduands. I certify that those listed have satisfied the requirements for the award of those degrees, diplomas and certificates.
As Chancellor of Charles Darwin University, I hereby admit to their respective awards the candidates whose names appear in the official list of graduands. Congratulations. Well done, family and friends, our graduates.
Thank you, Chancellor. Would all graduates please take your seats? I now call upon the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, First Nations Leadership and Engagement, Professor Ruben Bolt, to acknowledge our First Nations graduates today.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and most importantly, graduands. I acknowledge the Larrakia people as the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today. We honour their enduring connection to this land, its waters, and the rich cultures that have thrived here for millennia. We recognise that sovereignty was never ceded, and we pay our deepest respects to all Larrakia elders, both past and present, as well as to all First Nations peoples present here today. I am Professor Ruben Bolt, and I stand before you today as a proud Yuin, Wandandian and Monero Ngarigo man from the southeast coast of Australia, and as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, First Nations Leadership and Engagement. Today marks a momentous occasion as we celebrate the remarkable achievements of our First Nations students who stand before us. As you watch the names of the 120 TAFE and 33 higher education graduands grace the screen behind me, remember the countless hours of hard work and determination that have led to this very moment. Each and every student has demonstrated extraordinary dedication and resilience on their journey to this point. To our First Nations graduands, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. Your path to this stage has been filled with challenges, triumphs, and moments of personal growth. Your commitment to learning has brought you to this milestone achievement. May you carry the lessons learned with you and apply them with passion and purpose. I extend my warmest wishes to each and every one of you. May you flourish in your endeavours and may your futures be filled with prosperity, fulfilment and possibility. Congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Bolt. I now call upon the Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ruth Wallace, to present the graduates from the Faculty of Arts and Society and CDU TAFE.
Thank you. Auntie B, Your Honour, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, families, friends and colleagues. It gives me great pleasure to celebrate the achievements of the graduating students from the Faculty of Arts and Society and CDU TAFE, who have developed expertise in key areas and that contribute to the future of the Northern Territory and the regions across national and international borders. The faculties are proud to offer unique and inspired learning opportunities with diverse courses, and today you'll see areas of study including education, arts, emergency and disaster management, public policy, information technology, and laws. Our students study VET and degree courses in some of the most remote locations in Australia, or you might find them just down the road. They are always working for the benefit of Territorians, Australians, and the people of our region. Today, we also celebrate students graduating who undertook research through honours, masters, or PhD programs to expand our knowledge and practice. Through our expansive collection of partnerships, CDU provides further opportunities for our students through mentoring, placements and internships that build on students' skills developed through their university experience. Our graduates move into the workforce with exceptional knowledge, skills and the confidence to succeed. Graduation is the culmination of years of hard work. Through deep engagement and commitments, graduates have developed creative, professional and critical reasoning and have demonstrated their resourcefulness. In the next stages of your journey, I encourage you to continue to bring your unique perspective and solutions to emerging social, cultural and economic issues and to share your voice with the rest of the world. Your story matters. Your ideas matter. Your experiences matter. Your vision for what our world can and should be matters. Today we are celebrating your success as graduates are commencing new paths in your life. We feel confident that you leave CDU with the knowledge, skills and experience required for your future endeavours. You will be leaders and innovators in your chosen careers and an example for all those who have supported your journey and are inspired by your achievement. So please, enjoy this moment. You deserve this celebration of an important milestone. As a member of the Charles Darwin University family, we all rejoice in your achievements now and in the future. Remember, your success today and in the future is no accident. It is a result of hard work, reverence, learning, studying, practice, and most of all, a love for what you are doing or learning to do. I offer all graduates my deep congratulations. Thank you. Chancellor, in my capacity as the Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the Certificate 3 in Early Childhood Education and Care, Teresa Bajarayas. Tigist Bailegan. Soranya Bunma. Chanari Kong. Panashe Kari Mandavi. Tanya Ribeiro Suarez. Wanisa Thochai. For the Certificate 3 in School-Based Education Support, Eto Asamba. For the Certificate 4 in Government Investigations, Conio Norris. For the Certificate 4 in School-Based Education Support, Lisa Field. And Jennifer Claire Quinn Kent. For the Diploma of Arts, Fiona Chancellor. For the Diploma of Digital Enterprise, Maria Hutzol Shvenchenko. For the Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care, Noshin Irum. And Ellen Worsfold. For the Diploma of Higher Education Studies, Saida Mamuna Fatma Bushra. And Alex Malavi. For the Diploma of Information Technology, Mohammed Kamal Chauhan. For the Bachelor of Arts, Isabel Justine Henderson. And for Tini Nicholas. For the Bachelor of Business, Hamna Yassin. For the Bachelor of Education, Tyler John Wallace Horwood. Lexi Emily Kate Lightfoot. For the Bachelor of Education Early Childhood Teaching, Eliza Eistrop. Michaela Barnett. Samantha Jane Costello. Eloida Arceo Nella. Shana May McLaughlin. Joanne Wright. For the Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Teaching, birth to 12 years, Khan Vain Bui. Kihan Chen. Hao Ying Ching. Amy Lee Michelle Kennaway. Grace Sakala. Jia Lin Tran. Kiriaki Jacqueline Turmoli Liaris. Jessica Dawn Twaddle. Natalie Walker. That's right. Melissa June Clifton. Marcia Dawson. Thank you. Kimberly Ann Fawcett. Gabrielle Jade Maynard. Laura Ruth O'Keefe. Sophia Politis. Sophie Ritchie. Kelly Sutherland. For the Bachelor of Education Secondary, Angela Chimsud. Tiani Pan. Rohan Phillip. Pauline Shona. For the Bachelor of Education Studies, Simone Madonna Gabrielle. Mira Klesser. For the Bachelor of Humanitarian Aid and Development, Amritpal Kaur. Furkan Bati. Tyler Finlay. Ali Imran. Kajal Rani. Nimesh Jung KC. Natish Kumar. Naresh Kumar. Rosemarie Pintur. Priscilla Saw. For the Bachelor of Laws, Khadija Khan. Angeline Lai. For the Graduate Certificate of Arts, Sarah Liner. For the Graduate Diploma of Emergency and Disaster Management, Corey Dion Bell. For the Graduate Certificate of University Learning and Teaching, Tracy Travers. For the Graduate Diploma of Indigenous Policy Development, Sowa E Hutuba Saying. For the Master of Education, Aisha Sheraya Khan. And Mengle Ki. For the Master of Emergency and Disaster Management, Keegan James. And Adrian Francis Yates. For the Master of Public Policy, Sunaida Selvarani David Amiratharjan. For the Master of Teaching, Zalasht Azadozi. Jeremy Lenes Vialoces Barbosa. Maria? You Maria? Yep. Maria Dilbar. You go straight through? Elena Earl. Isru Parbadani Epopuli Arachigaidona. Natasha Budhima Ella Deni Yaje. Mark Allen Ramirez Garang. Michelle Ellen Louise Grogg. Rifat Binte Haider. Faik Hussain. Vantam Hun. Rajveer Kaur Chatana. Ishari J. Nishadya Kapudua. Delina Karmachara. Thilani Karunarathana. Yikching Luing. An Kim Nguyen. Khadijah Sadia. Shri Durga Bhavani Sarangi. Ishita Sareen. Anne Maria Sebastian. Sudeep Shahi. Shri Jana Tiwari. Amy Fu. Nyan Fei Wu. Zhaoyang Yan. Yilna Lee. Susan Erin Zamolo. Ruisi Zieng. And for the Master of Teaching Primary, Chantel Robin Rowe. Chancellor, that concludes the graduate presentation for the Faculty of Arts and Society and CDU TAFE. I now call upon the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research and Innovation, Professor Steve Rogers, to present their CDU doctoral graduates.
Thank you, Professor Wallace. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, graduates and CDU colleagues. A Doctor of Philosophy, or PhD for short, is the highest postgraduate qualification that can be awarded for formal academic study. The English word for doctor comes from the Latin docendi, meaning teacher or instructor. The first licentia docendi, licence to teach, were awarded in the 12th century by the Catholic Church. The first university to issue the licentia docendi was the University of Paris in the year 1213. A PhD involves in-depth, focused research conducted over an extended period of between 3 and 5 years, or in the case of part-time students, up to 10 years. The research outcomes presented as a thesis are assessed by a panel of national and international academic experts who determine whether the research delivers an original and significant contribution to knowledge in the particular field of study. The candidates graduating today have met these very demanding criteria. We recognise that First Nations people are the original researchers, scientists, teachers, technologists, and environmentalists of the land we gather on today. In recognition of this, we present to our women graduates a local Larrakia message stick, and to our men, a boomerang. Message sticks are a form of communication between First Nations peoples, often employed in communicating over large distances. The Larrakia design represents salt water. Salt water holds profound cultural significance within the Larrakia community, embodying a deep spiritual connection to the sea and its creatures. Salt water is not merely a physical entity. It transcends its material essence, serving as a vital element for sustenance, self-identification, and the preservation of cultural heritage. The boomerang represents knowledge that has existed among First Nations Australians for tens of thousands of years. Significant technological knowledge is applied to making boomerangs. What wood to use? Where to find this wood? How to successfully manufacture the finished product, and how to make the tools to manufacture the finished product. Boomerangs are used to hunt for food, for fighting, to make music, and for ceremonial purposes. This knowledge has been transmitted through the generations and is part of the traditional knowledge systems that remain strong across the Northern Territory, Northern Australia, and beyond. Charles Darwin University honours and respects this knowledge. We therefore take pride in presenting the message sticks and boomerangs to our PhD graduates. Chancellor, in my capacity as Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research and Innovation, I present to you Miranda Alice Booth. For her thesis, titled Australia in the Pacific Islands, Strategic Narratives of Humanitarian Assistance and Disaster Relief, as supervised by Dr. Jonathan Lasser, I now present to you Dr. Miranda Alice Booth. Chancellor, I present to you Raymond Chimetsa Ukebu. For his thesis titled Communicating Indigenous Culture and Identity Through Clothing, a study of Igbo, there we go, got it. A study of Igbo men of status in southeastern Nigeria, as supervised by Dr. Judith Lovell, I now present to you Dr. Raymond Chimetsa Ukebu. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the doctoral graduates.
The Chancellor's Medal in Higher Education Studies.
Each year, the university awards medals to the most I can't say that word. The most worthy students from the higher education and vet sector. There are two categories of medals, the University Medal and the Chancellor's Medal. And I have to say, Chancellor, compared to many universities, we're pretty mean with our medals. If you get one of these, it really means something. We have very few. Chancellor, the recipient of the Chancellor's Medal in Higher Education for their studies in the Master of Public Policy, I present to you Neil Robert Wright. Neil, you are most meritorious. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the medals.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. I would now like to welcome Taylor J. Finlay, who was highly recommended by the Faculty of Arts and Society and will speak on behalf of the graduates.
Good afternoon. Department of Education Chief Executive Susan Bowden, Acting Chancellor Charles Webb, distinguished guests, esteemed faculty, proud family and friends, and of course, my fellow graduates. What a profound honour it is to stand before you all as we celebrate our journey at Charles Darwin University. My name is Taylor Finlay and I will be presenting the student ceremony speech today. Firstly, I'd like to start by acknowledging the Larrakia people, who are the traditional custodians of the land we meet upon today. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today. I would also like to express my deepest gratitude to all of those who have supported us along this path. Whether you've been a lecturer, a mentor, a friend, a loved one, or anyone we've come across on our path, we would not be here without your guidance, wisdom and encouragement along the way. The impact you have made upon us throughout the course of our studies has been tremendous. Which brings me to the core of this speech and how my time at Charles Darwin has inspired me to leave a lasting impact on others and hopefully one day the world. For myself, who is graduating with a Bachelor of Humanitarian Aid and Development, this journey has been much more than an academic experience. Throughout the course of my degree, I have dived into the depths of global challenges ranging from issues of conflict, poverty, inequity and displacement. Not only have I emerged more knowledgeable about the complexity of social justice and how it presents itself, but also more determined to make a meaningful impact, not only for myself, but for those who require everlasting change. In a world where crises seem to multiply daily, whether that be a natural disaster or a global conflict, I know that the skills that I've gained here at Charles Darwin are more critical than ever. Though beyond technical skills, my degree has instilled in me a deeper sense of responsibility, a duty to not only respond to suffering, but to work towards a world of sustainable, equitable and just systems. I've also come to understand that humanitarian work isn't just about providing aid. It's about standing in solidarity, amplifying voices, and empowering communities to uplift themselves. I'd like to take a moment here to share a story with you all. A story of a little boy with big dreams to change the world in whatever way he could. This little boy was walking along the beach one day when thousands of starfish had washed along the shore from a storm. The boy began picking up the starfishes one by one and throwing them back into the ocean. A woman approached the boy and said to him, "Why bother? You can't save them all." The boy bent down and picked up another starfish, and while throwing it back into the water, he turns to the woman and said, "Even if I can't save them all, I still made a difference to that one, didn't I?" Inspired by the boy's wise words, the woman began to join him, throwing the starfishes back into the ocean. And soon enough, with more people joining them along the way, little by little, the starfishes were all saved. To me, this story highlights a few things, but mostly how we have the potential and skill set within us to do what we can to stand up for injustice. even when challenges may appear in our way. It is also a reminder that it only takes one person with the right amount of hope and optimism to create a ripple effect on the people around us. These lessons are especially important for us as graduates as we step into the next generation of change makers, and the future now lies in our hands. In fact, may I remind you, as students of Charles Darwin University, we were privileged to be educated in a place that embodies the spirit of change and evolution, much like the man it is named after. Darwin's work challenged social norms, opened minds, and revolutionised our understanding of the world. Likewise, this university has taught me that the solutions to the world's most pressing issues lie in adaptability, innovation, and a willingness to see things from a new perspective. As we prepare to step into the next chapter of our lives, I am filled with hope. Hope not because the world is free of challenges, but because I know in this very room there are countless individuals who will meet those challenges head on. And while the path ahead may be uncertain, I know that each of you are equipped with the knowledge, compassion, and determination to build a better future and leave a lasting impact. Remember that we are the future advocates, humanitarians, policy makers, leaders, and teachers of tomorrow. And while our paths may diverge from here, our mission remains the same: to uplift, to empower, and to fight for a more just and humane world. So as we move forward, let us carry with us the values that brought us here: compassion, resilience, and an unwavering belief in the power of change. Let us be unafraid to dream big, to disrupt systems of inequality, and to envision a future where no one is left behind. So, to my fellow graduates, I would like to congratulate us all on our efforts. Today is the result of years of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication. But it is only the beginning, because the world is waiting for us, and it is now time for us to go out on our individual paths and leave a lasting impression for our collective future. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor, for those inspirational words on behalf of our graduates today, and please accept these flowers as a token of our appreciation. I now call upon the Chancellor to deliver the charge to graduates.
Graduates, please stand. As newly conferred graduates of Charles Darwin University, it is at this stage in proceedings that we conduct a turning of the tassel ceremony. This is a long-standing university tradition that officially symbolises your transition from graduand to graduate of Charles Darwin University. Please now move your tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. I charge you as graduates to maintain a commitment to lifelong learning, to strive for truth, integrity, and compassion, to contribute to your chosen profession, and by the application of your abilities to support and nurture the communities that you are part of. I charge you to take with you the spirit and resilience of the territory. Walk softly but proudly in the knowledge of your profession. May your achievements bring honour to your university, your chosen profession, and to yourself. Good luck.
Thank you, Chancellor. Would all graduates please take your seats in preparation for your Guard of Honour and the closing of the ceremony.
Every new day begins with a choice. The choice to make time for what really matters. To use every opportunity to work toward our goals and to make every day count. Once we committed, we knew it was possible. Today is a time to celebrate and reflect on what we achieved. It wasn't always easy. We had our doubts. And the juggle seemed impossible. The early mornings and the late nights. When the inspiration was not there. The search for perfection. We just wanted to get it right. But for every challenge faced, we always had the end in sight. We found our inner strength and determination. We found support along the way. We used perseverance and passion to reach our potential and to find our new world. It all comes down to this moment. A feeling that will live with us forever. To share with the ones who've inspired us. To become the person we were meant to be.
Graduates, distinguished guests, families and friends, the procession will now prepare to form a guard of honour for our newest graduates. The Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor then invite you to join them in the Student Square for light refreshments. Please now stand with the procession and remain standing until the graduates have left the hall.